Alrighty, today we're going to talk about wiring a multi-branch circuit, which is sometimes called a split circuit, from a fuse box. Here in the country I was born in, we use a 14 American wire gauge on 15 amps, 12 American wire gauge on 20 amps. Black is live, white is neutral, the bare, the green is the ground. Red and blue are also live colors. However, you may find white live in a switch loop or a 220, 240 volt circuit where the appliance does not require a neutral. This is the older style fuses that were popular in the 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s. And these S-type fuses probably came out in the early 60s because people were putting 30 amp fuses on a 14 gauge wire, which is only capable of handling 15 amps. So I'll show you how to wire a multi-wire branch circuit from a older style fuse box. Okay, so this is 14.3. This is common with 14.3 on 15 amps and 12.3 on 20 amps. And most commonly you would find it in a kitchen with number 12 on 20 amps. And the 14 on 15 amps would be done in like a bedroom or a living room where there's going to be a lot of outlets. So we'll put our Romex into our box here. And we'll figure out how much we need to go up to our neutral bar. Okay, so this will be about the length we need here. Okay, we'll strip our wire out of our jacket here. Okay, so what you do is you get all your debris cleaned out. Make sure you get all your paper out so it's all nice and clean. Okay, we got to put our white and our ground up on this neutral bar. So we'll take our white wire and our ground wire, we'll bend it to the back of the box like that there, bend it down, and we'll bend them over, and we'll come get down into this corner here the way we want them, and we'll come up and we'll go in to our neutral bar, and we'll cut it right here. The main box is the only place where the whites and the grounds can be bonded together. Ideally, you want them in two separate holes, but we don't have two holes. We only have one hole left here. So make sure both wires are going through. Okay, then we'll push our wires back into our box, get them nice and straight into our corner here. We make sure we don't get our insulation under our terminal here, so I'll just make sure it's nice and tight. Okay, so we have two fuses here. This side is on one leg of the 240, this side is on the opposite leg of the 240. If you put two of them on this side or two of them on this side, you'll overload the neutral. If you put them on opposite legs of the 240, you will not overload the neutral. So we'll put our black over here and our red here. So we'll take our black, We'll go back to our edge of the box here. We'll come over to our corner. We'll bend it down. We'll come up here and we'll cut our wire and make a bend. Like this. I'm going to make this a little longer because it's a bigger, fatter screw. I like to take the screw out and bend the wire up like this. I'll make our loop the direction our screw is going to turn here. Go around, close our loop the direction our screw turns like that. And make sure we don't get our insulation caught under the screw head. And we'll just put our screw in like this. Okay, so there is our black wire hooked up. Now we'll get our red wire over here on our other fuse. So we'll go back to our corner here, bend down, and we'll bend up, and we'll go over into this one right here. I'll cut it about right here. I'll strip our insulation off. I'll take a little more because it's a big fat screw. We'll take our screw out. Okay, so we will bend our wire. We'll make our loop the direction our screw turns like this. Put our screw in. We'll close our loop around the screw the direction our screw turns, like that there, so it makes a good connection. Push it down so our wire goes down under the thing there where we want it. I'll go off to more loop here. Here, there's one. We'll get nice and straight the way we want it. There we go. So we have our black on one leg of the 240, the red on the other leg of the 240. It doesn't matter which way. We have our white and ground up here on the neutral bar. So we have our two circuits, and they're going to be sharing the same neutral. Now we're going to wire the outlet up. Okay, so we'll get our wire up nice and neat here. Now we'll tap our Romex connector so it's tight. jacket here. We'll just cut the end here. Make sure you get all your paper and debris out. Okay, on a split circuit outlet, we have our silver screws, which is the wide slot, which is the neutral, the brass screws, which is the live, which is the narrow slot, and the green, which is the bare ground wire or the green wire. We're going to be taking and see that little tab in between the two screws. We're going to take our needle nose pliers, we're going to hold it like that, and we will break it off like that. You know, you can watch it fall to the floor. That's the little link we took out. Okay, now we'll strip our wires. We'll strip them about 1 inch long. So first, we will take and we will put our ground wire on the green screw here. Put it around the screw. Close our loop. Direction our screw turns. And we'll take our white wire and put it on the silver screw like this. Like that. The link stays in on the white side. And we'll flip it over and we'll put our red on the top, or you can put it on the bottom, it doesn't matter. And you might want to do it the same on all the outlets downstream when you're doing that, so that way all the tops are on one fuse and all the bottoms are on the other fuse. So you always put your wire around the screw, the direction that the screw turns. And since this is a metal box, we'd have to put a green screw in the back here, and we'll have to come down and pigtail to the ground. So I'll show you how that is done. I have to find a green screw here. So with a plastic box, this is how you would do it. Now with the metal box, we have to bond to the box and the outlet. So we have a piece of 14 here we can strip back to make a ground tail. Okay, so what we do next is we'll make our loop with the ground wire like that. We always put it around the screw, the direction that the screw turns, like that. Well, I'm going to force it by hand. So I use my flathead. Oh, there it's going. Okay, now we have our bond to the box. So I'll show you how this gets pigtailed in with this here. So we open this back up. We gotta get the rest of our paper out of here. Okay, so we'll twist them together here. Like this. We'll put the excess off here like this. Okay, so you have your crimpers here, and you have your copper crimp sleeve. We'll take the side that has this little flange on it here. We put it in our crimpers like this. It goes in like that. And you slide it down over the ground in the bear, then you squeeze it like that. And you'll see the nice crease, the even crease in there. See how nicely that even crease is in the middle there? That's what you want. It's nice and tight. Now we can hook it back up to our outlet for the metal box installation. Now with the plastic box, you don't have to do that. You just have to either put this crimp sleeve on the ground wires, splice them on going downstream, and rewire nut your reds and blacks. lights together and tail to the outlet. Alrighty, so now I'll bring the camera up close so you can see. The white and ground together on the neutral bar. Ideally, you want them in their own separate screws. But we only have one left. The black and the red on the fuse block. Okay, our ground wire pigtail to go to the box here with the green screw. Our white on the silver colored screw. And we'll flip it over and we'll see the red and the black on the two circuits of the outlet. So the top half is on the red and the bottom half is on the black. Okay, I'll show you how to remove a fuse stat adapter. This is a 20 amp and this is only 14 gauge wire. So we're going to take this adapter out and put a 15 amp fuse in. So what we do is we just cut around the adapter like this. Then we'll take our pliers and we'll just take we can bend, we'll pull that piece out. See that little part there? That's the 15, the 20, and the 30 has their own threading, so you can only put the proper size fuse in the fuse box. But since we're using 14, we have to take this 20 out and stick a 15 in here. Okay, so now we'll take a little tiny screwdriver and we'll chisel away at breaking the plastic piece out. Or you have to do this if the adapter is damaged too. There's a little barb underneath here that has to come out because that's what locks the adapter in, so you can't take it out until the 30 in. Okay, so we'll keep chipping away at this Bakelite piece in the middle of the adapter. We can just sometimes get a wedge under there and break the adapter. Just break it out little bits at a time like this. You don't want to break too much because you'll break the fuse block. So just keep chipping away. To get back to where that little barb is. It just keeps breaking out like that. do little bits at a time. Okay, we broke out the plastic piece here. And you'll see the little barb right here. So you take your little screwdriver, just pry that little barb up. See it there? Then now that will let you unscrew this adapter. I would try unscrewing with this. You have to take my needle nose pliers and bend this back down in a little bit. And bend these in. See if that will work. If it doesn't, you just keep bending, pulling that in. Most of the time it'll just come unscrew easily. So if it doesn't, you just have to tear it out the hard way. Like this. You just take your time and tear it out. You just do it the hard way. It doesn't unscrew most of the time. Oh, there it goes. See how it's starting to unscrew? See, now it's starting to unscrew. This one came out a lot harder than all the other ones did. Usually they just twist right out easy after you get the barb off. But if it doesn't, you just have to play with it. You don't want to force it. And you don't want to try to use your hands because you can cut yourself because they are very sharp. There, we got it out. Now we can put our 15 amp fuse in here. This is the Edison base. And this is another 15, so you can see the thread base for the 20 is different than the thread base for the 15. You'll screw this in, see it doesn't go in on the 15. And the 30 is threaded differently. So you put an S-type 15 amp fuse in, it will look like this, except it'll be blue, and the threads will match that adapter. Alrighty, that is how to wire a multi-wire branch circuit into a fuse box where you're sharing the neutral. They call it a multi-wire branch circuit, or it can be called a split circuit. Peace. Thanks for watching.